Okay, let us start with the next video where we'll check how we can carry forward our values from one page to another page. Means how to work with session in your, say, after your login page. So currently after login I'm going to this user main page. Fine. On user main page I created a hyperlink. So when I click on this hyperlink I'll go to update user.jsp page. Right. On update user.jsp I am updating these values: username, first name, last name, email, security question, answer, and phone number. Right? Let us run it once. When I run my login page, fine, and when I log in with this username and password, fine, I'm on login servlet, right? I'm on this welcome page. Now one thing that I want is my username should be displayed here, and second, when I click here to update user info, my current values must be displayed in these text boxes and this drop down list. So whatever is the current value I selected should be available here. For this purpose you have to work with session. So how and where I will session the values in, where I'll store my values into the session. So from login servlet we are going to the, from this login page we are going to the login servlet, right? In login page here we have got the result set. This result set contains this table, fine, where username is this and password is this. So there can be obviously multiple number of rows, but at a time we'll be getting one row only where username and password is matching or where this combination is true. Fine. So I'll get this particular row and this particular column names into my result set. So what do I want is I want to retrieve these values. I want to retrieve this username, password, first name, last name, this email, security question, answer, and phone number. Fine. And then I want to store them in some of these sessions so that I can carry those particular values to the next pages, right? So I had already explained that in one of the class where we were working with session, right? So here I can work with the session. So for that we require a session class object. So here outside this try I can create a session class object named session. I can get this from calling request dot get session method, right? Request dot get session method. So this HTTP session cannot be resolved to a type, so we will import it from java.servlet.http.servlet package. Fine. Then once we receive the session I can go for session dot set attribute. Fine. So I want to set first attribute named uname, and value in this will be, in result set I want to access a string on column index 1. Means whatever is there on this table or your result set, column index 1 is this, column index 2 is this, 3, 4 and so on, right? So if I check here, this is my column index 1, this is my column index 2, and this is my column index 1, column index 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So I will store the respective values over here, right? So in uname I'll set, then I want to set value in pass, value of first name, value of last name, value of email, then we have security question, we have answer and phone number, right? So these are the values on second index, third index, fourth index, fifth index, sixth index, seventh index and eighth index, right? So all the values are stored into the session now. From this I'm going to the user main.jsp page, right? So this is your user main.jsp page. So on user main.jsp here I can write welcome, then $uname to access the variable or a parameter that I stored inside my session. So this will give me my current session, fine, and current sessions variable uname. So there are some alternates available, means you can go for a scriptlet over here if you don't know to access it like this, and you can go for string uname is equals to session dot get attribute uname, fine. This returns object, so you have to convert it into string type of variable, string type of object, right? So this will be stored inside uname. So then instead of this, you can write a value tag and print value of uname over here. So this is obviously true, no issues. We can access values like this, but this is not the only value I want. I want values for rest of the parameters also on next or coming pages. So I will access it like this as I did it earlier. Fine. So we can keep both, I guess. I can comment this and I can again write welcome $uname, right? So you can keep this as your reference. So we can, now I can use both, right? From here, when I click on this, I'm going to update user.jsp page. So this is my update user.jsp page. Fine. So same values I want to access here also. So in this text box, I want a value which is available in my session named uname. Similarly, I'll copy this, right? Here we want values for fname from parameter fname. Here lname from parameter lname. Email from parameter email itself. For security question, we can generate it like this. Value is equals to $SQUS security question, fine. And here you can print your current value of security question, whatever it is, right? Then for answer, we can again print value is equals to answer, fine. So one thing that you need to take care of is this ANS, SQES or email or lname or fname or uname. These are the parameters that I stored into the session here. So I'm talking about these parameters, right? So if I change this uname from uname to un further, whenever I access, say for example, if I access it here, I'll access with this name only, right? Even if you are getting the value, you will get the value like this, right? So it is not mandatory that you have to keep name as uname only. You can keep some other names also, right? So I'll keep it like un only. It's okay, fine. So on update user also I have to change it to un, right? Then last value we left with is this phone number that I stored in phone, right? Now all the values are available here. On update, I will go to update servlet. So this servlet is not created, we have to create this. So here I'll create a new servlet called update servlet, right? This is my servlet register. Okay, let us try to run from login page and let us check if values are available or they appears or not. So I will log in with my username and password, right? So this value is available now. When I click here to update, I am finding all these values. Now when I click on update, obviously nothing will be done because our update servlet is empty right now. We did not return anything into that, fine. Now one more difficulty is I cannot update this username, fine, and here this uname is available into text box, which is not acceptable because someone may have changed that, right? So we need to keep this as a hidden form field. Fine. So I can go to my update user. Here, this uname I want to just print, fine, as a label, fine, and I'll change this text box type to hidden. Fine. So hidden is one of the form fields. So this remains on this form. Over this form, one field will remain named uname. That field will be hidden. So we'll go to the update servlet now, post method. So this is your update servlet, and this is the post method. So I'll remove this extra piece of code from here. Right. Okay. So then we need to retrieve some of the parameters, and they are none of the same as register. So I'm going to retrieve, I'm going to copy this much of code from here so that my video length will be decreased. Fine. So we'll retrieve the parameters. Now I do not want this password and re-enter password, so I'll remove this. Rest of the parameters are same, right? So again we are setting this, we do not require this. So uname we can get first name, last name, email, security question, answer, and phone. These are the values that we may get. All the values are set to this object now, right? So model class object contains that value. So we need to work with the last or third step, that is what? Call a method in DAO-MVC to update data in table. Fine. So whenever we are calling update method, as you know, we usually get an integer in return, because execute update method is called and execute update method returns integer. In DAO-MVC class, I want to call a method called update user, and I want to pass model class object and SQL over here. So again, this SQL is not created, we have to create one SQL object. Fine. So this is what? Update my register set. Now I want to set values like this: of name, L name, email, security question, answer, and phone. So I will set of name, L name, email, security question, answer, and phone. We'll keep 1 2 3 4 5 6 number of question marks here, where username is equals to question mark, right? Let us check these names again. This username, F name, L name, email, security question, answer, right? And for phone we have phone. So all the values are set, and these particular values are correct. So I don't think there is any other difficulty or there is any other problem. Fine. So we can now easily convert, or we can easily go to fine. So we can go to the next step, that is what? This import DAO-MVC class, right? Once your DAO-MVC class is updated, or this class is added, we can create this method, right? So this method is created here. This method returns one integer. So you have to write one integer I from here. Same will return from this, right? Okay. So here I need a connection class object. Fine. I usually call it con is equals to connect. So from connect we are getting the connection. I can go for con dot prepare statement SQL. This will give me prepared statement class object that I call it as PS. Fine. This method returns throws one exception, so I'll surround it with try catch. Then I need to set the same values, so I'll copy them instead from your register method that I created. Fine. So now I don't want first name on the first place, but on first place we want first name. Then second question mark is for last name, third is for email, fourth is for security question, fifth is for answer, sixth is for phone. Fine. And seventh is for your username, right? So here I can keep uname field, right? So all my statements are prepared now. Okay, once my statement is prepared, I can go for ps dot execute update, right? This will give me one integer that I already returned from here. So from here I'll go to the update servlet. In return I have got an integer, so I'll check if I is not equal to 0, then do something else, do something else. Fine. So if I is not equals to 0, I can set a method, I can set a attribute in request object that value or user updated successfully, and I can go to this get servlet context dot get request dispatcher slash user main dot JSP. I'll go forward it. Fine. Right, here you need to give one validation also. That validation is none of the fields should be blank. Fine. So that validation I had given in this, so I'll copy these lines from here, right, and we'll give the same validations over here, right? So we do not have this pass and rpass, so to remove this. Okay, rest of the values are correct. Then in else part we can obviously go to this complete connectivity, right? So we'll go to user main page. Though there is no case of else, but still we can go to a condition with a message that user not updated, right? So this will update a user and will send back a message to user main. That message we need to keep somewhere, so I'm giving a line break here, say a few more, and here I'm giving that message, right? Or you can keep this message afterwards somewhere before your table, right? So here I can keep, or we can keep this message inside our table only. Here I have a field, so I'll keep it here, right? Now I'm done. It's good to go. I can go to login, run as, run on server. Fine. I need to give a value here and a password. Fine. Successfully connected. right. Then you can go to click here to update your info. We are getting the current info. We are not getting this username here, means it is not going to update. Okay, fine, no problem. I didn't change this. Here I need to change it to you and that's it. Fine. Then I can go to this page and refresh. I'll get the username, right? Then I want to change my phone number from this to something like this. Update it. User value updated successfully. So when I go to this table, I'll find my phone number is updated. Fine. So once your values are updated, there is one more change in your servlet. Once values are updated, set all the values into your session again. So I have to set all these values again into my session, right? So here I'll set these values back in session. So I have to create session is equals to request dot get session, right? Import this package. Then these values are not available in this, but it is available in uname. Available in uname. This is available in. This is not available here. So password value I will not update. For first name we have fname parameter. For last name I have lname. For email I'm setting the value that I received in email. For security question I'll set the value that I received in security question. For answer we'll retrieve the value of answer. For phone we'll set value of phone. Why I'm doing this? Because say for example if I updated my phone number, fine, so I'm retrieving this phone number from update.updateuser.jsp page, so the same value should be changed in my session also. Otherwise when I go back to this, say for example if I go back to this and your session is not updated, you're not going to get that particular value, right? See, this is the case, right? So I have to go to this, I have to refresh my page. So I am getting the current value, refresh it again, refresh it again, refresh it again. You are not getting it. Fine. So if your session is set, then the value will be immediately reflected to your object also. Fine. So now I can go to this. Fine. I can again run this. Right. Give the value here and password. Right. Click here to continue. Now value is updated. I'll change it to something else. Update it. Again if I click here, I'll find the updated value. Right? So this is how we can update and set it to your object session.